Hello everybody, today we are going to analyze with the Morri match analysis the game between Team USA Mix versus Team Canada Mix. The US won 13-9 after an amazing game full of big action and amazing moment. In the first video we are going to see a strong defense from the US team, push the Canadian team on the sides, and since the Canadians are in trouble to open the line, there is a quick turnover and immediately the first break from the US team. Already in this part of the game, you can see the difference between the Canadians are in trouble, open the line, in the give and go forcing by the defense in one side, compared to the Americans have in the priorities the reopening of the line, taking the disc in the power position. In the second video you can see the reaction of the Canadian immediately reacting using the give and go and using the inside throw in the back of the defenders to create a quick flow. You can see immediately a reaction because when they go on the sides, they immediately try to watch the middle of the pitch to go back in the power position to have a quicker flow. In the third video you can see the incredible skills of the Americans, boys and girls, able to have multi-rule player, can switch between the handling position to the cutter position. This is something important when you have a strong team because there are more difficulty for the defensive opponent to stop you if you have player able to play different position in the pitch. In the fourth sketch of this game you can see the Canadian try to react with the Christmas tree zone to put the Americans in trouble, but immediately you can see how the Americans managed to play the quick small ball give and go in the middle of the pitch, connect to an incredible dump and swing, quick, composed by quick throw and perfect execution, give the Americans the possibility to change the point of attack and put the Canadian in trouble to stop them. And basically the flow is never stopped and the Americans score easily in a couple of passes. In the last video analysis, you can see how the Canadian tried to isolate the matchup for a long hack, but at the same time you can see a mistake because every time the choice of throwing of the thrower is throwing on a player on the same line of the thrower, this is more difficult because the percentage of success go down. After the turnover, the Americans do the same basically, taking the disc in the power position for a good hack. But the difference is that the throw of the Americans is downwind, and then is easier and is also with a later release. And also if there are similar components of the throw, because the thrower throw to the receiver on the same line, you can see a successful throw because the thrower is able to give a good spin and give the time to the receiver to close the point. To recap this game, I can give you 3 tips. First, it's really important to keep the flow in the power position and everyone you see the disc going on the sides, you have immediately to try to have the continuation in 3 seconds and after try to go back to the center with a swing or with a dump swing, otherwise the number of mistakes can increase. The second tip is always better to put in the pitch or to work with the player to create multi-rule player, can play different position in the game, because this is something annoying the defense a lot. And this is good because after you can change the point of attack, also connecting to the skills of the player can play in different parts of the pitch. Tip 3 is always work in a double side play. You have to be able to play the quick give and go small ball isolation your 1v1 in the power position, but also you must be able to change the point of attack with dump and swing to don't give the position of the defense. Now I'm going to give you some tips you can use at home or during your practice to work on the thing I just told you. One exercise to reopen the game after the defense push you on the sides could be playing a game with 2 sides of 5 meters on the side of the pitch, and you can play normal stalling 10 in the middle of the pitch, but decided that every time the disc go on the sides you have 5 seconds to play vertical, and if nobody's free you must reopen the line before the 5 seconds. This is good because you can put the focus of your player to play the give and go in the middle, but if you go on the side, you have to quickly try to hit vertically the continuation, and if this don't happen, you have to look immediately for reopening of the game in the middle of the pitch. Another exercise you can do to work on the multi-rule player skills is playing 3 versus 3 or 4 against 4 in a field of 20 meter per 40 meter, and you can put the rule that every time the disc go vertical with a good throw, the thrower must run at least at the same level or up to the level of the disc position. This is good because this is something create the habit of the player to throw the disc and don't be passive, but be active in the changing of position. And also it's good because create chemistry between the player, can play multi-rule in the pitch. The last drill I can suggest you to do to work in the give and go small ball, connect to the dump and swing quick to change the point of attack, could be cutting your field in a 7 versus 7 with 5 lines, and decide that you must pass each line and you cannot hack. And this work because you can work in the give and go, watching the power position speed up, and at the same time you can change the point of attack with a new acceleration in the other side of the pitch. Playing a big field game 7 against 7 like this is good because create the habit to not only work in the give and go, but also in the opening of the space in the horizontal spacing available. Thank you very much and see you at the next tournament. Ciao!